Hi everyone, my name is Bailey, and in today's video I'm creating a little spellcasters village in an enchanted forest. It's actually not little at all. It's on a 64 by 64 lot, which is something that I've never done before. I feel a little bit embarrassed saying that, to be honest, because every single day I see someone building on a 64 by 64 lot. Some people, that's all they do. So this was actually my first time building on one. Honestly, it wasn't that bad. I felt like it was going to be 10 times worse, but for some reason I feel like the 64 by 64 lots in The Sims 4 are nothing compared to the ones in The Sims 3, even though they're the exact same size. But yeah, I just thought I would build a cute little enchanted forest. Originally, I decided that I wanted to make a village for fairies, so you'll see some influence there, especially with the bright pink flowers and trees and then the sized up mushrooms. But when I was going onto the buildings and especially the interiors, I really couldn't come up with any furniture ideas for fairies, so I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna go with some spellcaster vibes. I haven't really played around with the Realm of Magic furniture before. I've only built 2 lots in, what's that world called, Glimmerbrook before, and one of them I was very unhappy with. I remember I had just gotten my Twitter account. I was very excited to post my builds, and I post pictures of that lot, and someone said that they liked it, but it wasn't very spellcastery, and for some reason in my mind I took this as a hate comment, and I just hated that build ever since. So shout out to that person for being super nice and me just taking it as a hate comment. But anyway, I feel like this definitely gives off more spellcastery vibes than anything that I've ever done before. I used a lot of Realm of Magic furniture, like the counters, not the cabinets, there are no cabinets included, and the sofas, which I absolutely adore. You'll also see that there are a bunch of debug objects right here in the middle of the lot, which I will admit is not super pleasing to look at the moment, but I promise you it gets better. I just tried to build this village so many times, and I got so annoyed with pulling out debug objects every single time, because that does take me quite a bit. I don't know, I feel like every time I go into the debug menu, even if I'm just getting one thing, I have to look at every single object for some reason. But I tried to do this build, I think 4 separate times, and each time they came out very different from one another, but I like this one the most. The only thing I kind of wish I could change is that in this attempt there aren't any shops, whereas in the other 3 attempts I did try to build stores. However, I don't know how well they were going to turn out because I ended up scrapping them. That's something that I rarely do. I avoid community lots at all costs. I don't know how to build them or decorate them. I have built a museum before, a bakery before. These are all on my gallery. I don't have speed builds for them or anything, but they were pretty atrocious. So I think maybe sometime soon I will have to go back in and try to create some community lots. I'm thinking maybe like a little city, or I had this idea where I would make one lot, but it would be able to function as every lot type in the game. I'm not sure if you're able to do that, but I think that would be a really fun little challenge, so I might have to bring that onto the channel soon. I absolutely adore all of the landscaping in this build. It might not be for everybody because it is a little bit overpowering and of course very unrealistic with all of the sized up mushrooms and the pink flowers and the pink trees, things like that. But I really like it. I like how when you landscape in The Sims 4, you don't really have to think about it. You just do it, and to me it's super relaxing, so I had lots of fun. There's also a river that flows through the slot and then a little pond. I thought about connecting them with a waterfall, but I'm not sure if you can do that if you don't have the outdoor retreat pack. I think maybe I could have made one on my own by using the fountain objects, but I was really set on using the waterfall debug item, but then I realized that it's from Outdoor Retreat, I'm 99% sure, and I don't have that pack, but I think I want to get it soon. I'm planning on getting a bundle since I don't have Snowy Escape yet, and I haven't gotten a bundle in a very long time because I had all the expansions until now. So I think I'm gonna get Snowy Escape and then probably Outdoor Retreat. Honestly, the only game packs that I don't have left are ones that I don't like. So I don't have Outdoor Retreat, I don't have Spa Day, which I know is good for builders, but I hate black and white, I hate modern, it's just not my style. And then I don't have the vampires pack, which again is really good for builders, but I'm not in the mood to have Vlad in my game just biting my Sims in my Generations Let's Play. So I don't know which game pack to get. I think I'll end up getting Outdoor Retreat, and then for the stuff pack, I don't know, probably Nifty Knitting just because it's the newest one. Oh yeah, I forgot Journey to Batu. I don't have that pack either, but we just pretend we do not see that pack. I forget that that pack exists every single day, and then I get reminded about it, and it makes me a little bit sad. I know that there are a couple of cute build items, and then there's a really cute hair that comes in that pack, but honestly, I'm to the point where that's not worth it for me. Why did I go on this tangent? I have a little script written down of things I want to say in this voiceover, and that was not in the script at all, so sorry about talking about random packs for a solid minute straight. Anyway, you're kind of starting to see the landscaping all come together now. I added these cute little light blue crystals. There are also orange crystals. I wish they came in more colors, but those were the only two colors that I could find. I think there are some purple ones as well, but I like the light blue, and I was not going to add the orange. It just didn't fit the aesthetic at all. And then you're seeing me size up these mushrooms, which is something that I love. A couple of months ago I made a build. It was my other kind of Glimmerbrook build. It wasn't for a spellcaster, it was for a fairy, and I found these cute little mushrooms and I decided to size them up. Also these ones with the polka dots, I believe that they're from Get to Work, but I just love that idea so much. I got the idea from Minecraft, and every now and then I'll get recommended a speed build in Minecraft, and I click on it every single time because these builds are flawless, chef's kiss. And if you don't know, in that game there are little mushroom forest biomes that I absolutely love. I would love to go into that game and build something, but at the same time I don't have any skills in Minecraft. I haven't played in maybe 3 years, it might be even more. I went on it recently to check on my friends. I used to be really active on a certain server, and it said that everyone had been offline for multiple years, like 1,000 days. It kind of broke my heart, but yeah, the landscaping is all coming together very nicely. I had to cut out maybe a solid 10 minutes sped up where I was just looking at the debug menu because there are so many things in that catalog that I've never seen before. It's like every single time I look at it, they add brand new stuff. But let's talk a little bit about the 3 separate houses and who lives in them. I did make little storylines. They aren't in depth. Don't look forward to huge, intricate storylines because I didn't think too much about them. But the first house that we do is the tiniest one. It's only 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. Very open concept, and it was for a single spellcaster sim. I think they really love plants, they really love nature, and they definitely keep to themselves a little bit, but I think that one might be my favorite. The look of it on the outside is not super aesthetically pleasing, but at the same time, I think it's very quirky and cute, so we'll get onto that in a second. And then the second home that we furnish is for a little family, so 2 parents and 1 child, and also a cat. I really like decorating the kids' room for a little spellcaster in training, if you will. So they have a broom that is one that you would use to sweep your house with, basically. It's pink and it's super cute. I love that room so much. And then throughout the house there are some things for kids and their cat, of course, who I think is very, very spoiled. I didn't put a litter box in this house, and I didn't forget about it either. I was just like, I don't have room and I don't think it would look nice, so I'm just not gonna put one. Looking back, that probably wasn't the best decision to make, but I just thought that it looked better, and chances are you're not even gonna play with this a lot. It's not really something that would work well when you're actually playing the game. This isn't a cute little suburban or anything like that, so people probably aren't going to download this, and even if you do, you probably have a storyline in mind already. So I decided not to put a litter box, but there is like a cat tree and a pet bowl and a couple of toys, things like that. And then then the final house that we decorate was super out of my comfort zone. It is basically all black and white. There are some purple and teal accents, but for the most part it is black and white, which, like I said, I already said it in this voiceover, I hate black and white stuff. It makes me almost physically nauseous. I don't know why. It's kind of funny because my YouTube banner right now is black and white. I wanted it to be a vintage psychedelic thing, but it didn't end up looking like that at all, so I really need to change it soon. But I think a lot of people do really like black and white builds, plus it goes with the storyline that I was thinking of for that little household, so I was like, you know what, let's just go with it. So the storyline that I made for them is that they're a little bit evil. Now, the Sim that lives in the house that we're working on right now, they're not evil at all. They just like to talk to their plants. And then the family that I was just talking about, they're not evil either. They're just kind of stereotypical spellcasters. They do normal spellcaster things. Honestly, I can't tell you what that is because I never played with spellcasters before, but definitely not evil, super nice people. And then there is the family that is in the black and white house. I got the idea to make this family evil from when I was looking through the debug menu and I was looking at all of the spellcaster wands. There is one wand that's called the magician's wand, and it's like a little magician's wand. It's black and white. It's actually a really cute object, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make one of the Sims in this household super mischievous, so that's what I did. And he doesn't want to just make you laugh or anything like that. I think he's genuinely just a really mean person. Like, he steals candy from babies, you know, that thing you can do in The Sims 3. So not a good guy. And then his wife is just as mean. She doesn't necessarily go out into the world and just be rude to people. I think she spends a lot of time inside making little concoctions, and every now and then she'll go into town and she'll test it on random citizens. So again, not a very good person. And they do have a teen son, I was thinking, and the teen son really wants nothing to do with spellcasters. He is a spellcaster, of course, because both of his parents are, but he doesn't want to be one at all. So while the furniture in his room is definitely spellcaster themed, it's from Realm of Magic because I was thinking his parents bought him his furniture, of course. He doesn't have a wand and he doesn't have a broomstick. I was thinking that he just breaks them every single time his parents give him a new one. Maybe he throws them into the river, things like that. He just really wants nothing to do with magic. So there is a little bit of drama in the Enchanted Forest village, but for the most part, everyone's very wholesome except for the evil family. They just like to garden, and there are some activities, like one of the houses has a guitar, one has an easel. There are a lot of things to keep your Sims occupied, and I don't use stairs in any of the houses. I just remembered this. I use ladders, which might annoy some people because normally a family home wouldn't have a ladder in it. They would just have a classic staircase, but because they are spellcasters, I decided, you know what, let's just go with it, also to save space, of course. And then aside from almost every Sim in this village having a broomstick and a wand, there are 2 cauldrons, and there is one, I think they're called familiars. I'm not 100% sure, but they're the little spellcaster pets that you get when you find these little orbs. I think you can either get them from debug, of course, or you can buy them in the Realm of Magic area. Again, I know nothing about spellcasters, but I do think that I included everything that a spellcaster Sim could need or want. I basically just looked at all of the Realm of Magic items and included as many as I could. These items are super cute, by the way. I don't get to use them all that much, but I love the living room stuff, I guess you could say, that came with this pack, like the chairs and the tables and the sofas and the fireplace. I use the fireplace in 2 out of 3 of the houses because I love the object so much. To be fair, it doesn't come in the best swatches ever. It comes in multiple variations of cream and then I think 1 gray, and that's it. But I do like the object a lot, and like I said, I can't use spellcaster items in every single build. I'm not super good at mismatching different styles with different packs. I'm definitely trying to work on it though. So I was just very excited to use all of the spellcaster items, and I hope that you enjoy it. I know most people probably prefer to watch family homes be built and cute suburban homes and apartment renovations, things like that, but I wanted to do something on a 64x64 lot, and immediately I was thinking about different fantasy builds. So Honestly though, you can thank Pinterest for my recent obsession with fantasy builds. I definitely want to do more in the future, but Pinterest keeps recommending me different pins of Pixar or just Disney in general concept art and scenery in Disney movies, which I'm not complaining about, by the way. But at the same time, I made my Pinterest account so that I could look at interiors for family homes and things like that, and all the pins that it's recommending me are fantasy themed, so I'm trying to get it back to recommending me normal suburban homes and family home interior design ideas, things like that. I recently fell down a bit of a rabbit hole on Pinterest and Google and just really any platform that has a bunch of pictures on it. But I've become obsessed with these Sears catalog homes. I think that they're so cute. They're ugly, but at the same time, they're the cutest thing I've ever seen. If you don't know, Sears catalogs were really popular in America, and I'm assuming the early 1900s. I should know more about it, to be honest, because they did teach it to me in AP US history about Sears and his department stores and how that became a huge trend for many, many years. But they were catalogs where you could shop for homes, and the homes are very cute. However, I looked at the pictures, like the little drawings that they used to advertise the homes, and then I looked at what the homes actually look like today or in recent years, and not gonna lie, Sears was kind of a clickbait pro, because these homes in real life don't really look like the drawing they were advertised as at all. So I think it would be really fun to build one of these homes in The Sims 4 and see what it looks like, because they also provide the floor plans, and I think in a lot of cases they provide little interior design info and tips and tricks for every single house. So for example, there's one house called the Langston, and then I found another picture where they provide interior tips specifically for the Langston and like where you should put your sofa so that the windows look best. It's a little bit weird, I'm not describing it super well, but I think it would be a really fun build idea, especially with these interior drawings that they also have provided and the vintage furniture. I think it would be super fun to make kind of a vintage house, specifically a vintage Foursquare. I don't know why I'm rambling on and on about this, but I'm really excited about this idea, especially because I don't like doing floor plans. I don't think I'm super bad at them, but I just don't like them. I mean, who really does? Who looks forward to floor plans? Definitely not me. So they provide the floor plans, and I would just have to recreate it in The Sims 4. I think it would be fun, so definitely let me know if you want to see those in the future. Anyway, we recently started furnishing the second home on this lot. This is where the little family lives with the spellcaster in training. I think this girl just can't wait to grow up so that she can do a bunch more spellcaster things, because from what I know, spellcaster children can't really do anything at all. So I think she's super excited to grow up so that she can like fly on her broomstick and make a bunch of potions, stuff like that. I absolutely adore the living room, by the way. I think it's my favorite room in the house just because the green in the sofas and in the rug is so gorgeous. That might be my favorite color right now. It's just a really pretty color. And then we move on to the kids' bedroom with her little wand and her little broomstick. I don't know why, but I like the idea of this character quite a bit. Anyway, I hope that your day's been well. My day has been super interesting, and by super interesting, I mean not interesting at all. The highlight of my day so far has been that I had to play a role in Macbeth, which is the little play that we're attempting to act out on Zoom for my language arts class. I've never been a fan of this whole acting out Shakespeare plays thing that I've been doing since 6th grade. I don't know why teachers are so obsessed with it or why it has to be something that we're required to do. But in case you wanted to know, I played the role of Banquo, and I guess I won't spoil it just in case someone really wants to read Macbeth. But something bad happens to Banquo, and I had to act out me like basically being assaulted, and I just read the lines without any emotion in my voice at all, and I was cringing the entire time because I didn't want to be that kid, you know? That kid that goes way over the top. There was a kid in my class doing a British accent. I would have done that too because my British accent, not gonna lie, it's pretty good, but I also didn't want to embarrass myself and attract attention to myself, so it wasn't very fun. To be fair, it is better online because when you like actually go to school and do it, depending on how excited your teacher is, they'll make you wear like plastic suits of armor and stab your classmate and really act everything out. So I'm glad it was online this year. But yeah, so far that's been the highlight of my day. The only interesting thing aside from that happened was I'm in this group chat with my friends that go to the same school as me, and I got the notification from one of my friends, and she was like, do you remember, we'll call him Joe. Do you remember Joe? And I was like, yeah, I remember Joe because I've known this kid since elementary school. I mean, most of us in that group chat have. So she sent pictures of him, and apparently in the last couple of months, he has basically changed everything about his personality. Apparently he deleted his Instagram and came back, and he has a whole new wardrobe. He has a whole new personality. I won't go into what his personality is because I feel like that's mean. Like, that's gossipy. That's not something that I want to do. But just moral of the story is he had a whole personality change, which isn't a bad thing, like whatever makes you happy, but it kind of made me realize that this is a reoccurring theme amongst everyone that I know that was in my elementary school 4th and 5th grade class. I was in a gifted enrichment class for both of those years and also middle school, but we don't talk about that. I literally hate middle school so much, I try not to think about it. But everyone that I know that was in this gifted class has had major personality changes throughout the years, and the meme about like if you were in a gifted class you now have anxiety, it's becoming truer and truer by the day. But yeah, in case like a toddler is watching this video for some reason, I wouldn't recommend becoming a gifted kid or like trying out for a gifted class, because while it does open a bunch of doors for a child, at the same time, no child should really have the workload that a high school student has. And honestly, I remember in 4th and 5th grade, I would have like 5 hours of homework. And even today, when I take 3 AP classes, I have like 3 hours of homework. So make that make sense, you know? Anyway, I just wanted to rant about that for a little bit, so sorry if you didn't find that interesting at all, but we're moving on to the black and white home, kind of the bane of my existence, but I'm also really happy with how it turned out. Like, I really love the purple accents that I end up adding, specifically with the couches, I'm pretty sure they're very dark purple. I also really like the kitchen, even though the cabinets are at a very unrealistic height. I was kind of kicking myself for that, but you know what? These are spellcasters. They can just put on a levitation spell and zoom up there. It's okay. It's whatever. But I really wanted to thank you for the support on my last video. That was my first video on this channel. If you don't know, I have another channel, but I decided that I wanted to go with kind of like a different direction, a new path, something new, so I made this new channel specifically for The Sims, and so far everyone has been so kind. I messed up a couple of times in that voiceover. I was watching it back, and I remember I said that my sim moved from Strangerville to Strangerville, so I was kind of upset at myself for saying that, but at the same time, being a perfectionist probably isn't the healthiest thing, especially when you're just starting out. But yeah, I just wanted to thank you so much for being so sweet to me. Anyway, you'll notice that the interior of this home, it's a little bit cold, and that's not just because of the dark colors that I chose. I purposely made it so throughout the house there are no signs that a child has ever lived here. I think the parents are very strict. They don't really like the kid, or the teen I should say, having any hobbies whatsoever. When the teen was a kid, they didn't want any toys laying around at all, so there aren't really any signs of a child or a teen living here. The teen bedroom doesn't have any posters or signs, so this teen kind of lives a sad life. It makes sense that I think they're pretty popular in school, so they try to stay out of the house as much as possible, because when they're in this house, they're just in their room locked up. They don't really want to be around their parents since they don't like the lifestyle that their parents lead. But yeah, that was just a little storyline. Also, if you're wondering where the stairs are for this home, they're on the outside. It's a little bit weird, but I was looking at houses again on Pinterest because I've kind of been obsessed with Pinterest recently. I was looking at medieval houses specifically and kind of fairy houses, so houses that aren't real. They were either concept art for a game or maybe a movie, or they were little miniatures that people had built themselves. So I was really inspired by all these houses having staircases on the side of the house. I thought that was cool, even though you wouldn't really want to trek through the rain just to get to your bedroom. It's not super ideal, but I liked it nonetheless, and sometimes in The Sims, you just have to choose aesthetics over realism in order to make the build look nice. But anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about the update. I am so happy with this update. I haven't explored it too much, but if you don't know, it was an update that provided us with a ton more skin tones and makeup options, like makeup sliders. You can choose the opacity and the hue. It is amazing. The skin tones are awesome because you can also like use the sliders to make it look warmer or darker. It's really, really amazing. I don't know much about the hairs. Apparently we got a couple new hairs. I haven't really seen those yet, but I'm very excited for what's to come because I feel like The Sims 4 has definitely been going in the right direction recently. At the same time though, can you really give them a pat on the back for going in the right direction after 6 years? I don't know. I'm a pessimist, so I'm always looking on the dark side, I guess you could say. I'm not very happy with what The Sims 4 has been like for most of its lifetime, and I'm very happy that The Sims 5 is coming soon, I think. I don't think it's been confirmed that it's coming anytime soon, but I feel like The Sims 4's days are numbered at this point. It's been over 6 years. We need The Sims 5 soon, even though it'll be sad to not have any expansions and just have the base game. That's definitely going to be a struggle, but overall, I'm very excited with the direction that The Sims in general is going in, and I hope you are too. But anyway, we are getting to the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, a like would be very appreciated, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!